Hello again, Collective. It's Ron over here at Becoming Enlightened Together, and I'm about ready to go ahead and do a tarot reading. I just completed a rune reading for the Collective, and basically it talks about mostly whatever help and support that we're hoping for is coming in. To be patient, abundance, wealth, all of those types of things are also going to be manifesting soon for the Collective. So. Now, in terms of the tarot reading that I'm doing right now, it looks like what we have here. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be using a 9-card spread. So I have literally 9 layers of information I can derive from, if you will, the combination of 3 cards in different directions, okay, including a diamond shape. So from that, I can get 9 pieces of information to help us really fine-tune what's going on. But the heart of this particular reading is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is a Virgo card. This is an Earth card. It talks about bad news on material matters coming in. And the person that's embodying this wants to come in. They've taken way too much time. Perhaps you were waiting for this person for quite some time, somebody you may have had a relationship with in the past. Things didn't work out for whatever reason. It'll be different for all of you. And you walked away from one another, but you already knew that they were supposed to come back, or you were supposed to be together with them, or they thought that way about you, but they also felt, they were going to keep you on a leash for, X number of weeks, months, years, whatever the case may be, and that you would always be there for them. Now they're suffering karma, but they remember your tenderness. They remember, how you made them feel, how you made them laugh, and all of those types of things, and you gave them the only comfort they knew, but they, were vain and selfish and everything else, and they went a different direction. Perhaps that's what this is showing me, and they're coming back to you, which is embodying the Queen of Swords in the upright energy. Now, the Queen of Swords in the upright is basically, sorry about that, guys, I'm just trying to get it into focus so you can see it. The Queen of Swords is complete opposite, or at least the polar opposite of what we just saw with the Page. So we got a Page of Pentacles coming in who's in the reverse. They're all messed up. They're not honest. They're lazy. They're basically going through it. And they took way too much time. You're embodying this Queen of Swords energy of somebody who's rational, truthful, can be funny, not overly serious. You can laugh at yourself. You can't be fooled, basically. You see right through the subterfuge of lies and deception. So this is who they're coming back to. So they're nervous about this, okay? They know that you can see through their lies. They know you're very intuitive. All right. Now, the other 7 pieces of information, there's 2 we just got there. One being the heart of the matter, and the summary of the matter is who you are actually representing right now, the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Swords. So this Page is coming in, and they're going to be dealing with you in that energy. We're going to be looking at both the spiritual plane. Spiritual plane are those forces which gently nudge us and propel us forward, whatever it is you believe. God, Source, the universe, your ancestors, your higher self, nothing at all, the extraterrestrials, whatever it is. And then the second layer of information, which also consists of 3 cards, is the earthly plane. Of course, those are the more materialistic things that we need, want, desire, or feel lack of in the earthly plane, okay? It also gives us time. Sometimes it gives us quantity. Sometimes, it gives us the more direct materialistic information. And then finally, we have the subconscious layer. Those are your hopes, wishes, desires, your secret thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, your intuitions, things of that nature, okay? And then we get the past, present, and future. Each of those lines also consists of 3 cards, okay? Keeping in mind, of course, what the overall heart and the summation of this overall reading is. That helps us to really focus in on what is being said here. Past, present, future pretty much speaks for itself. I don't need to explain that. And then finally, the seventh piece of information, or the ninth if you count the heart and the summation of the reading as individual portions of the reading, then we get the diamond-shaped one, okay, which basically intersects all 6 pieces of information: spiritual, earthly, subconscious, as well as past, present, and future, each one of those, and it gets it right in the middle to form a diamond shape that gives us another piece of information about the overall environment for the collective or of the collective. Okay. Now, if I had need of another piece of information, I could also get a diagonal set of 3 cards, which will give me the answers and possible follow-up questions to this reading or this energy. So let's go ahead and get right into the spiritual plane first, okay? Now, the spiritual plane basically starts off with the 5 of Wands, okay? Now, the 5 of Wands, you can see people basically in conflict, competition, friction. You see all those, people battling it out with their staffs and so on. So there's rivalry and disagreements, hassles, dissension, setbacks. Also somebody rising to the occasion, because inevitably somebody is going to win in this, flurry. But there's also irritations and trivialities that one has experienced. This is a Leo card, okay? It's a fire card. So now next up in that same line for spiritual, we have another Earth card. This one basically ruled over by Capricorn, and it is the 2 of Pentacles in the upright. Basically, this talks about somebody that's trying to find balance and harmony, priorities. So maybe they had to battle it out and everything else to finally get to a point where they can start to see some light at the end of the tunnel, or at the very least get a fresh air, to take a time out and try to get their perspective. So this could be this page who's really trying to maybe make some changes in their life. This could also be the collective. Right now we're not sure. But it's talking about somebody who is flexible, somebody who's struggling, but somebody who's also fun and balanced, somebody who's coping, somebody who's focused or making focused movements, somebody who's adaptable, somebody who is going with the flow, so to speak, and doing what they enjoy to do. Okay? So that's what the 2 of Pentacles represents. Somebody who's also juggling, so to speak. Right. Now, what we have finally for that first row, spiritually, is another Earth card. This one is the 7 of Pentacles. This one is basically a Taurus card. So we have all 3 Earth signs represented here, basically, with Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So basically, this talks about somebody whose goals are finally paying off. They're finally getting some rewards, financial gain, or this is what their spirits are pushing them towards. Patience and hard work being a big part of that. Somebody who's being, evaluating and assessing their situation, reviewing what's being done, checking results, getting the blessings for their efforts, taking stock, and finally starting to see their first fruits. And, a milestone is basically being, I guess you can say that they're walking into their milestone in regards to getting out of some of this karma. Now, the next plane of knowledge that we're getting is the earthly plane, material plane. And we start off with the World card. It's a very positive card, major arcana. Okay, it's in the upright. So it talks about how the universe is working in your best interests, towards success, completion, rewards, integration of something, a wholeness, balance, synthesis of something, union, accomplishment, prosperity, dreams coming true, using your gifts and talents, fulfillment, satisfaction, contentment. It's a very, very, very positive, card. So maybe that's the way that this page was, before, falling, if you will, their karma. Maybe they had everything at their disposal. Maybe they had all the money. They had all the materialistic things. Because the next card up is the page in reverse again. And this is somebody who has bad news materialistically. So it looks like this is what happened to them. They were very well off, thought that they could get away with almost anything, that, being that they had all this materialism at their fingertips and everything else, they were capable of getting away with doing whatever and not worrying about how it affected anybody else around them, in particular you, collective. And now they're suffering from karma, and that's what this is represented. And we're seeing them also now in the Four of Swords. Okay, somebody who's feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, somebody who's very anxious and drained, somebody who's fearful and burned out, somebody who needs to rest but can't, somebody who's up late at night and having nightmares, somebody who needs to prepare or feeling that they're in a constant state of preparation. They're not peace. They're feeling basically they need to slow down. Somebody needs to take time to heal. Somebody who's basically, thinking things over. Somebody who's in deep meditation at this time. So they're realizing from the materialistic plane that they had everything once upon a time. They're losing everything, perhaps. And now they're in a time of reflection. But in this particular case, it's at least intimating that they're taking the time to reflect and actually, hopefully, making whatever changes that are necessary for them to make in this particular regard. Now, in the subconscious plane, what we have is another good and major arcana card, which is that of Temperance. And basically, this is the Earth Angel card, but it also talks about balance, reciprocity, peace and patience, calm and harmony. This is what they want. This is what they're striving to achieve. This is what they desire more than anything right now. So they're looking for moderation and compromise. They're looking for equilibrium, centeredness, their health, healing. Maybe they're suffering from some type of disease or ailment and so on. And these are the things that they secretly want, need, or desire. Okay? Now, next up is the King of Swords. Okay? This is somebody who is rational, logical, structured, fruitful, and self-disciplined. Somebody who's very objective and analytical. Somebody who's articulate and just, ethical, creative, inspirational, knowledgeable. Okay? So what we have here is a collective pair, with the bottom of the deck being the Queen of Swords, and at the subconscious line, we have the King of Swords. So King and Queen of Swords are involved in this. Now, this could be the energy that they're embodying right now, or they hope to embody when they come back to you. But remember, they're right currently in the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So they're not in good energy at all. But that is subconsciously what they are hoping to achieve. Now, what we have with the last part is because they want this. They want this with you, collective, this Ten of Cups. It's up to you to decide whether you want to have this with them or not. But remember now, they have kept you on a leash and on a hook for a long time, and they played you. They didn't show you a great deal of respect, and only now that they're hurting themselves are they wanting to come back and hoping that you will allow them in that door. But what the Ten of Cups represents is happiness, fulfillment, and joy. It talks about La Familia, family, love, and stability, health, peace, well-being, love, fortune, blessings. It talks about everything that you can possibly want in terms of your emotions in a positive light. That's what they're striving for. That's what they want with you when they come back. Whether they actually embody this King of Swords energy or not is a whole nother matter. You'll have to make that decision. But right now, they are in the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Keep that in mind. All right, now let's look at past, present, and future. Now, again, the past energy was that of the Five of Wands. Again, this is a Leo card. It's a fire card, and it's all about conflict, friction, competition, rivalry, and just about anything and everything that you wish wasn't happening in your life going on. But we also have in the past somebody, when they were going through this energy, was also looking very good materialistically, where they felt the universe was really working in their best interest. What they don't really realize by this energy is that they were given the opportunity. They were allowed to exercise their many gifts, and maybe they had these gifts because they were with you once upon a time, and that energy that they got was from you. And they felt they could take on the world by themselves. And now everything is falling apart. And it may have been, weeks, months, or even years later that this collapse has really taken hold of them. But, they've lost pretty much everything. And they're striving, for the temperance. Again, the balance that they're looking for. Now, this is also a Sagittarius card. So maybe this Virgo is, wanting to, or wanted, or maybe they were working with you, collective. Maybe you're embodying the Sagittarius energy. You were the balanced one. You were the one who was bringing balance into everything in their world at that time, before they basically deceived you. All right. Now, in the present energy, we start off with the Two of Pentacles. Now, the Two of Pentacles talks about finding that balance, harmony, priorities, time management, multitasking abilities, flexibilities, being able to juggle more than one thing at a time, being flexible, fun, somebody who's balanced, coping, and so on and so forth. And there's many other words I could use to define that, but somebody who's basically, able to deal with life as it is at that moment. But again, in the present energy, they are embodying this, okay? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Bad news, materialistically, losing pretty much everything. Somebody who's been lazy instead of actually putting forth the energy necessary. Somebody who's been impractical, somebody who is basically in a state of inaction versus, actually moving forward in some way. Somebody who's less secure than they used to be. Somebody who lacks credibility now and moving way too slow, as I stated. Okay? Because they're keeping, the Queen of Swords waiting. Now, a Queen of Swords may be a man or a woman. They're just embodying the attributes I've already shared of a Queen of Swords. Okay. Now, lastly, in the present state, we have the King of Swords. And again, this is what they're thinking that they're coming to, basically deal with, which is you, collective. So you're embodying both the King and the Queen of Swords is what it's looking like here. Or maybe they are envisioning you as a king when in fact you're actually embodying the Queen of Swords, which they're just parallel counterparts. Okay, one is in the masculine energy of that particular energy, and the other is in the feminine. Now, again, this is a air card. So whereas the Queen of Swords embodies that of Aquarius, this one operates in the energy of Libra, okay, the scale, the balancer, if you will. This is somebody who's logical and rational, self-disciplined, objective, analytical, articulate, just, ethical, creative, inspirational, knowledgeable, is a researcher, okay, articulate, and so on. So what I'm thinking is you're embodying both masculine and feminine. Even though I don't have, either the Empress or the Emperor showing up here, that's what it looks like. They're expecting you to be in this King of Swords, attitude when they come before you. But in fact, you're embodying the more, empathetic version of that energy in the feminine. But that doesn't mean you don't have your sword up and that you're ready to cut a motherfucker if they cross that line again. Okay. Either way, they know that they have their work cut out for them. Now, in the future, we start off with the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Seven of Pentacles, again, is another Earth card, which means represents materialistic things, okay? And since it's up in the upright, it talks about, your goals being manifested. They're paying off. You're getting the rewards of your earlier work and efforts. Financial gain is coming. Your patience, your hard work is bringing in the first fruits of all of your labors. So you're receiving the payoffs. You're entering into a milestone in your life. And, that is what the future has in store for you if you embody this energy that we're talking about. So, and the energy of a king or queen of pentacles. Or, I'm sorry, king or queen of swords. Yes. Yeah, if you continue doing your hard work and you're sincere about it and everything else, then there could be success for you in the future. And of course, I'm speaking specifically to the karmics in our life. We're coming back, in our life, okay? Our success has already basically been prophesied in advance. We know that we are getting the fruits of our labor and is coming in, and the end of a cycle is already in the midst of happening, if not already closing its door, for some of you out there. For those who are in karmic energy and refusing to do their work, as we saw intimated with the Page of Pentacles at the heart of this reading in reverse, well, they're going through karma right now, where you're starting to get your dharma, your good karma. Okay, so again, we have the Four of Swords, and again, this is somebody who's right now feeling overwhelmed and stressed, anxious, strained, fearful. Somebody basically in contemplation, who is in deep meditation. Somebody who's trying to become centered and everything else. So I say, if this is indeed you, karmics out there, that you're doing exactly the right thing, but you have to get off your lazy ass and start applying that information. You can't just sit there and think about it, day after day after day and hour after hour. You actually have to put some effort forward in making these changes, because what this is showing is you're deeply thinking about it. It looks like you want to make the changes, but you have to make physical efforts to do that. It's not going to happen for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. We all do. And if you didn't know that already, well, I'm hoping that you understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, if you would have looked ahead of time for that sage, for that, special somebody that could teach you, these life lessons and everything else ahead of time, then you wouldn't find yourself in this current position. But now that you're in karma, now you want that, kind of information for yourself. Now you put yourself in that position. You're the one that has to get yourself out of that position. You can't put that on anybody else. And that's not the way life works. We all have to do this, and by doing, our own work, our own inner work. Shadow work, as they call it in spirituality, going deep within. The meditation and so on is a big part of it, but it's only scratching the surface. It's only the beginning. You have to put, effort and apply these things that you're learning. And that's what it's telling me. You're not doing that yet, especially if this is what you're after in the future, your 10 of Cups. If you want this type of happiness and joy and peace in a family situation, whether it's you personally, individually, or you with somebody else like you're hoping for with the collective that you basically turn your nose up to once upon a time, well, you're going to have to do the work, because as you already saw, they're embodying this energy. King and Queen of Swords. They're going to see right through your bullshit, and they are not going to tolerate it. And you need to understand that. Now let's look at our last piece of information, which comes in the form of the diamond. That gives us more insights into the actual environment that the collective is in at this point. And we start that off, with the Two of Pentacles. Now the Two of Pentacles talks about somebody who can juggle, multitask, and so on. Somebody who's good with their time management. Somebody who's basically can be fun. Somebody who's flexible and balanced. Somebody who is basically young, okay, as pages are. So this energy that's coming towards you in the Page of Pentacles in reverse is basically either very young in age in comparison to you, or they're very immature in comparison to you spiritually. And that's probably what this is telling us. But this Two of Pentacles, as I said, is somebody who's more balanced and down to earth, okay? Somebody who does what they enjoy to do. Now, next, we have the Four of Swords. This is somebody who is actually in deep meditation and contemplating and so on. So this Two of Pentacles person who's young is doing a lot of reflecting and everything else. They hope to be able to come towards the King and Queen of Swords and actually get what it is they want, which is really the entire world. Okay, so they're coming to the King of Swords, making their petition, saying they've changed. Again, only time will tell if they've actually changed, so use your intuition, because what they're hoping to achieve by you opening the door for them again is the world. And you'll have to make the decision whether that's worthwhile to you or not. Okay? What I say when it comes to things like this, and not to influence you or anything, but what my experience has said, once a snake shows you they're a snake, then just believe that they are a snake. And I don't mean in the positive, sense of that word. Wisdom and things of that nature are usually symbolized in the form of the serpent, if you will, as health is, and many other things, if you look at it from a world perspective, esoteric, occultic, and even in religious dogma, if you break it down. But when I'm talking about a snake, I'm talking about somebody who's deceptive, somebody who only does what's best for them, doesn't care, doesn't have any empathy for anybody else in the picture. They've already shown you who they are, and as they say, a tiger does not change his stripes, right? So they can change internally, but for that to happen, it takes a concerted effort. And if they've lived their entire life in one way, it's going to take quite a bit of effort for them to change, to come to a place where they can meet you on a level playing field. And you have no business being with somebody who's not on a level playing field with you unless you want to throw the dice. You're gambling if that's what you decide to do. And they could actually repeat the very same types of activities and so on in your life that maybe they did the first time around. And if you're up for that type of challenge, then all the power to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I know personally what I would do, but I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to share with you the information that comes in the form of the energy that's available, that's manifesting out here. And it looks like somebody's coming forward to you. They are very immature. They are lazy. They have done a lot of bad things. They've turned their nose up at you once upon a time, overlooked you, and now they're coming to you as a savior, so to speak. But they already know that you're going to be greeting them in this King or Queen of Swords energy, which somebody that can see right through their lies and their subterfuge. They hope to, achieve the Ten of Cups and the world with you if you allow them through the door. So their motivations are still, even now, on what they can achieve by being with you and not on their real feelings about you or the love for you specifically. They're not, that I can see here. Not a lot of cups. I mean, you do have the Ten of Cups. They do want this with you, but There's nothing else indicating here that they have those feelings for you. They just want to be happy. They want a happy family and all of that kind of stuff. And they're looking for the materialistic side of that. So be careful what you decide. And that's where I'm going to leave this particular reading. And I wish even those who are out there cross-watching in the karmic energy that you take this journey very seriously and that you do the hard work necessary, because even if you may not get this with the collective right now, and the odds are very good for the majority of you that you probably won't. I'm telling you that just from what I'm feeling, as well as what I'm personally experiencing, that you won't. But that doesn't mean you can't get this later on, perhaps with somebody else, or maybe even the collective at a later date. Who knows? It's going to be different for everybody out there. But if you're only doing this for a quick fix because now you're experiencing some of the repercussions of your earlier bad decisions and selfish ways, then really, I mean, that pretty much speaks for itself. And we're going to see right through you. Okay? So if you're coming at us with a smoke screen, a bunch of lies, a veneer of goodness, when in fact you're still very corrupt on the inside, not only will we see it, we will feel it. We will know. And no amount of mask wearing is going to keep that from being the case. So I encourage the collective to remember to follow, of course, your intuition, to trust your gut, and to go with it. It's okay to have empathy, to care about their current state of disarray and everything else, but remember how they got there. Not because somebody else put them there specifically. They got exactly what it was that they were doing to you. They found somebody who's equally as karmic as they are, or were with you. And now they're suffering as a result of it. They don't like what they're feeling. So that encourages them, yes, to possibly look within and see that, hey, maybe I did do some pretty screwed up things, you know? And hopefully that will go to the next level where they actually start applying some of this and make changes. But right now, they're in the Page of Pentacles reversed energy. So if they're coming at you, you know, today or tomorrow, then just be warned, okay? And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to call it the way that I see it and feel it, and to be honest. And it's no, you know, disrespect even to those who have done the most heinous of things in this karmic energy. We're all at different places in our journey. Some of us are old souls, others are new, and we're still learning. But for those who have been in old soul energy, or maybe even an earth angel, because we've seen that card here in this reading as well. Now I know many in my collective are embodying this energy, possible earth angels, the chosen, if you will. But there may be, you know, an example of a fallen angel or two out there as well. Just like the story of, you know, Lucifer himself, you know, the angel who fell from grace, if you will. If you're looking at it from the traditional mindset of, you know, the original 66 books that have been canonized within the Bible, okay? And that, by the way, that omitted another 70 plus books if you look at the Gnostic texts. And Constantine, who was in charge of, you know, the Council of Nicaea and bringing all these church leaders together to decide which, you know, books we were going to incorporate, which ones we were not going to incorporate, they had an agenda, okay? And I don't care what any other scholar, and I've read both sides of that spectrum, so I know what the Christian perspective is on that as far as from a positive light in terms of the 66 books, but I also know what the Gnostic side of that perspective looks like, and I own the Gnostic text as well as the canonized version. So, and that includes the 14 other books that Roman Catholicism uses, and that traditional Christianity or non-Catholic Christianity omits, doesn't use. Okay, so there's a lot more to that story. If you really are interested in truth, you will look at all the available information, as in, you know, scientific reasoning basically implies or denotes you should do before coming to a conclusion. And almost all Christians, in the words of Mark Twain, are basically just taking what they were told from people that got their information from, other people that told them what to believe, instead of looking for themselves at all the available information that exists, and not coming at it with a predetermined, idea of what the truth is, but allowing the facts to, pull you in the direction, that truth will inevitably be found, because it's the only way to find truth in a world that is just so filled with deception and lies, deliberate cover-ups, public relations. I mean, that's really what the media is today. It's not about uncovering truth, not at all. And it hasn't been for well over 100 years. And that's actually within the, the actual political records. If you look at the 64th Congressional Report, page 2000 and something, I forget exactly what page it is, you can see it for yourself that in 1915, J.P. Morgan basically had purchased the largest newspapers of its day, and for over 100 years they have been more or less in control of everything that they give out to you in terms of what to believe. And they've also done the same thing with our education, with the Rockefellers, with our medical and pharmaceutical industries. They're doing away with any alternative ideas for truth, for health, for any of that stuff. So I'm also, I guess, for lack of a better word, one that everybody understands, but it's incorrect, is conspiracy theorist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I deal with truth. And my truth always seems to point me in areas that are more aligned with what conspiracy theorists are putting out there than certainly what traditional dogmas or dogmatic belief systems tend to, propose. So anyway, I digress. Once again, I'm getting too much off into a tangent, but that's what I do. I'm a teacher, and sometimes I get carried away. And I just would want to be able to give you alternative perspectives and get you to think outside of the box, as we all should. Don't accept status quo thinking on anything, especially things that affect your life and the life of those who you are more or less mandated to protect and, maybe raise, if you are a father or mother. All right. So with that being said, and me rambling on once again into another tangent, I digress, and I wish you all, of course, victory out there. And much later on, someday we will meet in Valhalla. Take care. God bless.